Testing. Hey everybody, Coral Darrow here. I am hopping on to chat with y'all a little bit about the 26-27 school year. I'm really looking forward to all that we have planned and the things that my kiddos are going to be up to and learning and the time that I'm going to get to spend with them. And so I just thought, hey, well, maybe I will bring you along for the ride. While also sharing with you guys some tips, some suggestions, and maybe, hopefully, helping you out if you are new to homeschooling or you're just looking for new ideas in your homeschool for this year. If you ever get stuck or kind of discouraged, that you can find me as somewhat of a resource. But if not, at least I hope you enjoy watching and get a little bit of value out of my my broadcasting here. So first of all, a little bit about me. So my name is Coral, obviously, and I am a second generation homeschooler. So my mother was homeschooled, I was homeschooled, and now I'm homeschooling my kiddos. And so homeschooling to me is just very natural. It feels like what everyone should be doing, or at least, it feels like an organic part of life. And so, of course, to anyone who's thinking about doing it, I'm like, well, yeah, obviously. But I also know it's not that simple, and that there's a lot of new methods, so to speak, even with under the umbrella of homeschooling and just education in general. And so I'm happy to share what we're doing exactly. And yeah, so I have 5 kids. No, I have 6 kids. I just had my 6th baby. She is 3 months old, so obviously not schooling yet. Then I have a preschooler, a kindergartner, a 3rd grader, a 5th grader, and a 7th grader. So 7th grade, he's doing full-time online. And then my 2 middle, 3rd and 5th graders, they're doing very similar work together, a compilation of workbooks, and they do obviously a lot of reading and writing. Mostly I keep all of my other kids, except for my oldest, off of technology as much as possible, which pretty much means I think the only thing they can listen like to their audiobooks or CDs or whatever that I have around, like on the radio CD player, or I have like one multiplication game that they can play like once a week. So I'm super minimal with technology with them. I found that that it's worked really well just to keep all of that at bay as long as possible, both for their attention, for their mood, especially their mood. I find that that makes them just overall more cheerful, and that's makes my life a lot better. Then I was a little worried, like, oh, what if my kids won't know, how to type, or like what to do on the iPhone or the Mac or whatever. And it's not been a problem with my oldest. He jumped right in. And yeah, they make these technology devices so user friendly now that it's don't worry about that, in my opinion. Yeah, so that is a summary. Personally, I love coffee. I love vests. I'm almost always wearing one unless it's too hot out. Yeah, so I'll leave you with 3 tips for the beginning of the school year. And the first one is going to be to pick a start time. Now, don't worry so much about what time, as long as you pick a time. Communicate it to your kids and be consistent, especially if you're getting yourself all geared up for the new school year and your kids are getting excited. Then do them the favor so that they can just latch on to that and not expect that one thing, which is going to anchor them, to be sporadic. Homeschooling is nice because you can be really flexible. However, that can be really unsettling for your kids if everything is kind of on a whim of your own timing. And so that's something that, especially with my older kids, once they hit, I would say, like 2nd grade, they really appreciated the fact that I was going to communicate to them somewhat of a plan. Now, when they're younger, in their early years, yes, you can just kind of go with the flow. And maybe one of them needs an unexpected nap, However, I think that more structure, the better, because then they can perform. And that's what you want to do in a homeschooling environment, is give those kids the opportunity to prove themselves. Um, and so pick a start time. Second of all, you, mom, are going to be probably getting really excited about all the things and wanting to do way too much. And I think that's obviously a little bit vague, even just to say too much. But if it is just constantly like one task, the next task, the next task, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., and they never have time to digest any of that, then you're going to find that they don't retain as much, and or they're so rushed that they don't have that positive experience of learning the knowledge, that then they're not able to look back and go, oh, I loved learning science. And so for me, that's been uh, something I've had to learn, which is just kind of which things am I going to prioritize or take more time on, and just be like okay with that if it does um, mean like, all right, this year I can't do Shakespeare. Maybe I'm going to do it next year, and so I might subtract something that another year we did do Shakespeare, and it was really fun. We did three different adaptations, and then at the end of the year we watched one of the movies, and it was so much fun. But this year we're not doing any, and so you just have to decide and pick and choose wisely, and also depending on where your kids are at. The third tip is to get your meal prep nailed down. Now, so for us, that is, I make breakfast and lunch the evening before. And that way I'm not cooking and cleaning half of the time, but I can actually dedicate that time to homeschooling. And then, of course, I have just a dinner menu already planned out. So it can be as simple as, spaghetti, tacos, uh, stir fry, grill, pizza, and just rotate that. Now, if you're way more creative or want healthier, different options, go for it. But just have something ready to go that you can go to the store, grab the things, and you've got at least a 5-day plan, Monday through Friday. So yeah, and make lunches, pack them the day before, so that your kids just know they can just go and like grab their lunchbox or grab their pre-made whatever, and you can sit down and check somebody's math while they're eating instead of being up serving them. Um, and then breakfast, we have the same breakfast almost every day. And so like it's eggs, bacon or sausage or ham, and fruit. And depending on the season, we'll have toast with that or not. If I run out of eggs, or if for some reason the baby was up at night, I will do oatmeal with fruit. That's pretty rare treat. The reason that I want the eggs, the bacon, all of that is because it satiates the children, so that then they can eat at 8 a.m. and not eat again until 12, and we can get a lot of schoolwork done. There's no snack time for us in the morning. We just plow on through. And I also make sure that, in the evening, they're not like snacking late at night or anything, so that they do wake up hungry for that breakfast. They eat a filling breakfast. They perform really well, and the day just flows a lot better. So, all right, that's just all that I'm going to share today. Sorry if it's a little bit rambly. I hope that over time we'll get a little bit more just better at this. So, yeah. Okay. Goodbye for now. Talk to you all later.